One flicks me a bad body. So it's another one, yeah. It's a full screen, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
What's going on, guys? Welcome into a special live edition of the Stay Weighed-In show. We've just seen Naoya Inoue knock out Luis Nery to retain his titles. We're going to be here breaking it down for you. Before we do that, quick shout out to our sponsor as always, D-Rock Clothing. As always, if you want to get the merchandise to support the channel, you can go ahead and do that. iBoxingHub 24, get yourself 40% off there. You see Johnny Nelson, Joseph Parker rocking the merch. But with that being said, Ray, where do we start with this particular fight? This was 6 rounds of pure action. And what I saw from this fight, just starting off straight away, Saka saying, what a fight. And he's right, what a fight. Monday afternoon entertainment for us. We said it beforehand as well. This is something that you got to appreciate. But yeah, in a way, it's just showcasing his class, especially being knocked down as well in the first round with the hook from Nery. So just talk to me about what you saw with Inoue in this performance, probably compared to what you've seen in the past.
I think a lot of the time, what defines a fighter is not how they are when things are going their way, but how they are reacting to adversity. This guy is cut from a different cloth because the knockdown that got landed on Inoue in the first round, it wasn't a flash knockdown. That was a hard punch, and you can tell he was stunned. Even like in the interview, they're asking him like, how did you feel in the fight? And he just kept on saying, I don't remember. That guy was fighting off instinct. And for a lot of people, it's fight or flight. And my goodness, did this guy's instinct say, I'm absolutely up for the fight. Like the first round, obviously he got knocked down. Nery was pressuring him. And then he was just trying to gather his thoughts. You can see trying to create space, trying to survive that round. So the fact that the second round came, he went with a flash knockdown. And from then on, it's like he just stuck to his fundamentals. He stuck to being a boxer punch instead of just trying to get his lick back. And it's just, man, what a masterful performance, man.
I think one thing you said that was also important to me when I watched it was we see like certain fighters go through adversity or go through the first few rounds, then download the information. We always say boxers download the information. In this particular fight, I felt like the third round was that round where he downloaded the information. 4, 5, and 6, it was just a masterstroke. You even saw him in the fourth round. He was just playing with him. He was like, you want to fight me? Let's do it. Let me dance a little bit. Reminiscent of like Max Holloway when he's in control of the fight. And then, like I said, the 5th round, he gets him with the hook. The 6th was the shot that I looked and I was like, the referee doesn't really need to count. He's already hit the back of the ropes. We're done kind of thing. We're done with this particular fight. We got a question here as well. So we might as well run it. Is he pound for pound number 1?
Arguably, yeah. He's always going to be, at the moment, him and Crawford at the top. Okay. And I'm sure if Crawford puts on a magnificent performance at 154, he's going to go back to Crawford. But he's definitely in that conversation and definitely deserves to be mentioned because, my goodness, after a performance like that, like especially, like I said, is one thing when everything's going your way and then you just absolutely put a shellacking on someone. But to face adversity and to come back straight away the way that he did, he is definitely him. When people say, are you him? He is him.
He is him. And I'll also say this. Is he the most entertaining boxer we've got at the highest level right now in terms of, like you said, coming back from adversity, which is something that we've not had, but then also being able to then put on a show for people. If it ends early, it ends early. If it doesn't, it's a systematical beatdown. But normally it ends with a knockout. So it's in a way the most entertaining top-ranked boxer right now. And before we do that, shout out to Trey. Shout out to yourself, Ray. Happy birthday, man.
Much love, man. Listen, I'm thankful because just throughout the years, I've always managed to get entertaining, fights on my birthday. I think my first one I remember was Canelo. No, not Canelo even. It was Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya that was on my birthday. So my birthday always falls around like the Cinco de Mayo time. So I'm sure there's a big Canelo fight that's happened on my birthday. I've been thankful that there's a lot of big fights that's happened on my birthday. So, but much appreciated. A good way to start my day as well, especially not a late night one, early morning / afternoon. Great boxing fight, and then head out and treat myself. Yeah, but sorry, I forgot the question.
Yeah, I would say in terms of like the top ranked boxers that we see in like pound for pound lists and stuff, is he arguably the most entertaining boxer that we have right now?
Absolutely up there. Like every performance, Inoue is one of those guys when I tell people that might be casuals and I say, watch this guy's fight. And so many people always leave and they're like, yeah, he's the truth. And even got my phone blowing up as well with like friends that are casual watchers of boxing telling me, rah, this Inoue fight, this, that, and the third is different gravy. Like that's one of those fights when people go, if you want to put someone who's a casual onto boxing at a high level, you say, go watch Inoue. And if you're based in the UK, it's even better because the timing is brilliant. Nice afternoon. You got the rest of your day ahead and you don't have to worry about your body clock being messed up.
I hear it. Look, we're getting more and more shouts here as well, pound for pound king. And I think I'm with a lot of people with it. I'm going to ask you this as well about him. I always say Better BF is pound for pound the hardest puncher in boxing. Can we potentially can we give that to Inoue or not? And also, yeah, I was going to ask this as well. Do you think he doesn't get the love because of the weight category he's in?
I think, no, best pound for pound puncher is Better BF. That's undisputed for the simple fact that he's got 100% knockout rate. However, if you want to say that Inoue is that top 3 or 5, definitely understandable. But the beauty with Inoue, much like Better BF as well, but the beauty with Inoue is that it's not like Wilder where it's just like, I'm just going to keep on swinging until I hit you and then bam. Inoue is precision. That is timing, precision. Even the hook that he dropped him with in the 5th round, I believe, was just like Nery's whole body was moving into it. And the sharpness of the movement, pap, like the straight, snapped his jaw.
Hey, listen, I see that. Are we getting you into the Misfits ring one day with that?
listen, man. If the bag is there, listen, I'll go back in the gym, you know. But yeah, no, like in a way, that was. Oh, thank you very much for the birthday message. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I want you to get that one. I saw the message. I was like, I'm gonna wait for you to acknowledge the message.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Many blessings to you too. But you guys call me off guard in a good mood. But yeah, like in a way, that fight, pound for pound king, one of the hardest punchers in boxing, one of the best technicians in boxing, and one of the people that can bring it all together. Like honestly, when people want to watch boxing, they want to. For me, I say the best boxers to watch are boxer punchers. I know everybody likes a puncher that can just knock someone out, but sometimes you want to see the beauty along with the knockout. You don't just want a knockout. You want to see beauty with it. You want to see a guy that walks with elegance, the technique just shining through. So yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So we had the question before about the weight division he's in. If that loses the shine from it. So I just want to get your views on that. But also, Saki said, should he move up again? I do believe he's going to fight the mandatory again in September.
Yeah.
So I don't see him moving up right now myself. But yeah, I want to get your views on the weight class because I do think that's one of the things that maybe doesn't put too much of a shine on him. And as much as it's a pain, the fact that he does fight in Japan, it's on a Monday or a Tuesday sometimes. It's not, I get it. I hear what you mean.
No. You cook first because I've got something for people chatting rubbish.
So I get it because what happens is it's on a Monday or a Tuesday. Even though it's on great times, if you're at work in the UK, you're not going to watch it. It caters towards the Japanese fans, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being a worldwide star, but he is a worldwide star, but he's a huge household name in Japan, which is fine. But I understand why some people may be like, yeah, but we won't be able to watch him type of thing. But you can. I hear it. But my point is, if you fought on the traditional Saturday or going into the Sunday type of thing, maybe you get a few more eyes on it. But yeah, just on the weight class type of thing, do you think that's probably one of the reasons why?
So to start off first with the weight class, about people are just always gonna have an excuse with him, because how many times does he need to move up before he gets his credit? At the end of the day, people have this weird thing where it's like, because they see smaller guys, they just don't give them the rating. And I don't think there's only so much you can do with that. Yeah, because it's just like, what do you want me to do?
One short.
Yeah, like, what do you like? I'm sorry. I know certain things come down to marketing, because at the end of the day, as much as people might say, do you think the weight class is the reason what might be holding him back commercially? There's a bunch of weight classes that are heavier that no one cares about. No one cares about middleweight. Do you get what I'm saying? No one cares about middleweight.
There was a period, but yeah, you're right.
You get what I'm saying? So I think it's just more of a case of, the only issue with Inoue is that he doesn't have any opponents that's as marketed to him that can like get the public's like appeal. Because I think what happens a lot of times is that when there's only one person that shines in the division, that's when it's really hard to get new fans, because they need a rival. They need a rival name to build up that person. So I think that's what Inoue is lacking more, is that he doesn't have a challenger that's as big of a name. I don't think the weight class is as much a challenge. And then to the second part, when he said, should he move up? I believe he will, but he's also wants to do it naturally. You don't, obviously he's older, just packing on the weight takes time to properly let your body adjust. And obviously I think it's different because he got the undisputed title in this weight class so quick. Everyone was just like, I'll just move up again. But he's probably got a plan to like put on weight gradually, because there's other fighters in the past where it showed like when you just rush the putting on weight process, it messes up your body, especially at older age. It's not as easy to just get up in weight as in like when you're younger and you're at a low weight class, your body's still naturally growing. Whereas now it's just like he's probably at his natural weight. So to put on more weight, it's just like maybe got one more weight jumping in.
I think I'll add on to that. Like if you look at someone like Tank Davis, he's not the tallest guy, but he has a stockier build.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't have that. He has that slim
lean
to push up a lot harder. Well, you're putting an excess fat really rather than muscle. So I hear your point.
If you look, like, I know this is boxing, but if you just look examples, like even though it's a bigger weight class, like John Jones in MMA, where it's like this guy was a slim build, but still built, and then nowadays heavyweight, it's just like you put on too much weight, it doesn't look healthy on your body, like it's too much. And obviously that's an extreme comparison, but that's a whole nother bag to answer. And to the other question you were saying about should Inoue like go to other markets, here's the thing with America or just the West in general, would it be nice for him to come by? Yes, but all these other nations have had to suffer having to go America and, you know, suffer watching stuff on American timing. We talk about all the time how we're staying up until 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and it messes up our body clock for the rest of the day. And you don't think that these other people across the world don't have like complicated times watching Americans? But those are the main ones chatting, making that point. It's not the UK guys. We're kind of just like, it would be nice for him to come, but if he doesn't,
you know what it is? I think the Americans have it because they've never had to adjust.
Yes,
UK have always had to adjust.
Always, not even just UK. The rest of the world that doesn't have a similar time zone has had to adjust to America, and they need to remember this is not American Boxing Championships; it's world. So guess what? There's gonna be other people across the world where you have to tune into their time, and especially the fact that how much did he just do? Like 50K people,
53,000 or something.
50. What? And you wanted to go and do 20K in America? What's wrong with people? You think Inoue right now is saying, damn, I've just sold out an arena or stadium that hasn't been done in, what did we say? I think he was saying since the 90s. So he's just sold out an arena or stadium that ain't been done in the 90s. But it's the 20-year, but it's the 20K arena in Vegas that he's just like, damn, I'm really missing out. Like, the American fans need to get over themselves with that one. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. Like, you're telling me that me in my own country that's making big money, is there even enough money in America to compensate him for making that trip? And then you're gonna tell him that he has to do a venue that's like less than half of what he's just done right now, without a worthy opponent.
I was going to say that's the point that Saka's saying. Is there anyone that can, at this moment in time, give him a decent fight? Because I don't think there is anyone, which is why he's nicknamed the Monster, because he genuinely is a monster right now.
That is different. The fact that he took the way he got knocked down in the first round, yeah, Sonny Edwards. I think Sonny Edwards even lower weight class, unfortunately. I would have liked it, but even Sonny Edwards, he can't entice him to come to the UK.
I saw him the fight against Bam Rodriguez. Respectfully to Bam, Bam's a very good fighter.
Yeah.
Inoue is a different level above. So just in general, I don't think it works. I think he's on the mend in terms of he's fighting on Bam's and Estrada's undercard. So he's working up. Yeah, so Sonny, nice guy, very nice guy.
Oh yeah, shout out Sonny. But as for Inoue, listen, stay in Japan unless someone's got a different type of bag that's gonna make you move. Why? Stay there, get your money. You're here breaking records, getting more money. Why would Americans think? It's like they're not even looking at the facts and statistics of what Inoue is doing right now. But because of past glory, you're like, you can't be a big star unless you come to America. Listen, man, this is prize fighting. Guess what? I don't come to the if I'm Inoue and you're telling me I didn't come to America, but I'm making life-changing money whilst making life-changing history in boxing, I'm sure he'll sleep well. I'm telling you. You lot telling him that he's never come to Vegas, I'm sure he's not gonna cry.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't agree with this particular name here because I just think
Gamal Yafai.
Yeah, I just think there was that potential, but he's always been for me like.
Wait, but isn't Yafai a different weight class though?
I think he's super bantamweight, isn't he?
I thought Yafai was a lower weight class. I thought he's like around the flyweights, if I'm correct.
No, I think he's super bantamweight, if I'm not wrong. So it's potential, but the only thing is, again, I think there's a level, and right now nobody's in that particular level to be able to fight, which is fine. I think it's fine. I think you can have one particular fighter that head and shoulders.
Yeah, sorry, that's Galao Yafai is flyweight. I thought.
Okay, I thought it was super bantamweight, but yeah, fair enough. So again, no real dramas with me. Like, if there's not anybody that can fight him at this moment in time, it's just more of a case of him putting showcases to people to be like, you guys want a piece of this, come fight me, rather than me go fight you. I do want to move on. Any more things quickly on Inoue that we've got, producer? Anything in the background? Any comments?
All I'm gonna say is, listen, man, what a fight that was, because honestly, my estimation for him has just gone up. Because like I said, I think for me the most impressive thing is that first round and how you respond to that is amazing.
I think what's interesting about the first one, normally when we see knockdowns, they happen, but then there's about 20 seconds left of the round.
Yeah.
There was a solid minute in that.
Yeah.
And he was able to recover to a point. His legs were still under him in my eyes.
Yeah.
But he was able to recover to the point where he can regroup second round. Like I said, it was a flash knockdown, sorry. So you can see him shoot back up in terms of So there was that. But yeah, like you said, the recovery side of things and everything else. Quickly on this point, then before we do touch on Canelo and Munguia a bit, how many more fights do you think he has in him? He's 31 right now.
I think it depends how many weight classes he wants to conquer. If he can do like 1 or 2 more weight classes up, then I think he's still got a few in him. He doesn't seem to be losing steam. He seems to like live the lifestyle outside of camp. Like, he doesn't seem to balloon in weight. He doesn't seem to be ill-disciplined outside of camp or have vices that will take him away. So honestly, I believe that he should be. He's got a few years in him, and hopefully during that time there can be someone that produces a good enough name outside of him to bring an even bigger challenge. Because to be fair, Nery, I felt was top 5 pound, but Listen, Inoue is arguably number 1 pound for pound, let alone top 5. But what was I say? Like Nery, I feel bad because I feel like if Nery was able to get his name out there more, Nery should be. This could have been a bigger fight between a North American and Japan, but it is what it is.
We move. I just want to then touch on what we saw over the weekend: Canelo Alvarez, Jaime Munguia. You messaged though. You go, look, you might be right. With the build-up, I said to you, there's some Oscar lunatic stuff that's going to happen, and I think the build-up was good. I didn't actually mind the build-up going into the fight. I think the fight itself, for me, showcased why Canelo at 168 is head and shoulders above everybody. For me, okay.
Okay, no, fair. You're talking about personal, all right? Fair. I can't take that from you.
Yeah, I do feel like he's head and shoulders above everybody because in this one, what it felt like was the way we saw Canelo fight Floyd in terms of when it was baby Canelo and he had that 40 records in terms of 40 wins. Same with Munguia in a little bit. It's not fully the passing of the torch, but the fact that he did go 12 rounds with him, but it was a schooling after what I felt was the 4th round. I still felt, though, Canelo landed some big shots. Munguia ate some big shots. But I think there was a period, I think it's even in the 12th round, Canelo lands a shot, but allows Munguia, he holds onto him, just to be like, I don't want to drop you. And I think what I saw there was Canelo not going soft, but understanding the fight itself and understanding, okay, maybe I don't need to knock this guy out just to prove a point. I don't need to do it. But like I said, for me, what it showed in this particular fight was Canelo at 168 has outgrown the division. Like, there isn't anybody at 168 because Benavidez at 175 going for his next fight. There's not anybody at 168. The only problem is I will see what Benavidez does at 168.
Why is there no one at 168? Why is there no one at 168?
Because look, I'm not
Don't
saying
start. Why is there no one at 168?
The fight that people want to see hasn't occurred yet.
Why?
Because it just hasn't.
No. Who is the person that can make that fight and is not making that fight?
You can look at hear me out. This is the thing. You back Canelo in the position where it's like, oh, he can make the fight. The thing is, people talk until it's time to really go to action. I
can make the fight. No. Stop doing this because I'm answering direct questions. The man is in a powerful position to make the fight. There is no way you're going to tell me Jaime Munguia fight is going to be more profitable than a Benavidez fight. I'm sorry. Let's not do this. And he was talking about Benavidez ain't deserving. Benavidez was the one who beat 2 other contenders prior. David Morrell has been holding the WBA regular championship for a long time. Both of those 2 guys got frozen out to the point where they had to
fight.
Sorry?
You want to know Mauricio Suleiman? He's not making the fight.
Nasty. It is nasty stuff.
It is. But I did see a clip. Canelo saying to Benavidez, "You want to come into the ring? Come in right now."
He weren't telling it's lies, it's gamesmanship about coming to the ring to do what? I've already been pressured you for the last 2 years, and now you want to say come into the ring. And I don't even believe that security would have let him come into the ring, in all honesty, because do you know what it's like? It's like I can't keep on chasing someone, and then like all of a sudden, because of the optics, you want to say come into the ring. Stop it, because straight after the fight, you're telling people you need 200 million to face him. Why do you need 200 million to face him? It makes no sense. You're the cash cow. You're going to get the bigger splits regardless. And there's no way you're telling me that this fight that you took here has generated more money than you would have got for Benavidez. So I'm sorry. I know he's your guy. Listen, one thing, the plodding style he's got right now, he's in the twilight of his career. And what a career has been. And me saying this is not taking away from what Canelo has done before. But we are not going to cap on this app and act like you're out here facing the best of the best. Because if you really want to face the best of the best, you could have faced Morrell, who's more deserving than Munguia. You could have faced Benavidez, who's more deserving than Munguia. And for the fact of not stalling their own careers, both of them have now gone to like heavyweight to say, I've got more opportunity to fight for a belt because this guy's holding up the division.
I will say this.
Sorry, we are not doing no Canelo defense.
I'm interested to see what Benavidez does at 175 because I don't think people are respecting what 175 to 168 really is.
Yeah, true.
And I think there will be a reality check when you fight a genuine 175 guy. And again, he's about 38, 39. Kovalev was also similar age, I want to say, when he fought.
Yeah.
It took Canelo to the 11th round to be able to stop him, even though he basically dominated the majority of that fight anyway. So I'm interested to see what he does. I do believe in 2025, if he doesn't fight him, I get it. Then I will get your frustration because there's no fights at 160.
2025. Why can't you do it the next fight? Who's
one more fight?
If this guy faces Belanga, yeah, this is the most nastiest
I personally believe he's going to fight Belanga.
If he faces Belanga next year, this is some of the nastiest matchmaking and
not next year. The next fight in 2024, he's going to fight Belanga. And I get it.
Brother, why is everyone happy with this? I don't. Oh my gosh, my head's hot. These are the same people, yeah, that get annoyed before His Excellency came through, yeah, and started making fights that people wanted to see. This is the same antics that people hated. So then all of a sudden, because your favorite Canelo is doing it, it's fine. Stop the nonsense.
So this is what I mean. No. If it is certain fighters that I know in the past have a somewhat average resume, but then proclaim they have an elite resume, it's a difference. When I look at Canelo Alvarez, I've said this.
Has Jaime Munguia got a better resume than Benavidez?
No, but
done. Has Belanga got a better resume than Benavidez?
I don't really care about the Belanga fight. I've never been a Belanga guy.
Exactly. This is my point. So how can you tell me then?
What?
This is what you're capping for your. Do you know what? Yeah, I would rather you just say Canelo's my guy.
He's having a 1 year off.
I'm 1 year.
Brother, Errol Spence hasn't fought for a year.
Errol Spence is not undisputed champion.
Davis hasn't just decided he wants to talk and fight now.
Listen, and it's because Davis ain't undisputed champion. This is my thing. If you want to be undisputed champion, yeah, you have to face the next best opponents. If you do not, because at the end of the day, we're comparing it to when Mayweather was doing the Money Mayweather thing, yeah. Mayweather wasn't holding up the division. Mayweather would literally grab a belt and relinquish it straight away.
You on that? I'm not against that. My only thing is, once he clears Belanga, most likely he may just bear with it. When or if he fights Belanga or Charlo, whichever the two in 168 come September next year, 175, 168, we're gonna get the fight. So that is my only thing. I think at that particular point, I don't think you can look at it to be like, oh, he's not going to make that particular fight. And I think you've frozen. Has Canelo put you to sleep that badly? Because producer, I'm here sitting defending Canelo. So if anybody else wants to get at me for getting at Canelo, supporting Canelo Alvarez, listen, hit the link, put it in the chat. Let's have a little conversation whilst I got another 10 minutes or so to go. But I do understand the frustration about it. I will say this. This particular fight, it was one of them where, look, let me tick it off type of thing. And also, again, the PBC, Amazon Prime deal, etc. So they want to get Canelo in there without any complications. And I think a Munguia fight probably has a lot lesser complications than anybody else. So I see it. But I will say this, in 2025, whether it's 175, depending on how Benavidez performs, whether it's 168, again, seeing what Canelo's body says, we got to see that fight. But I would not be surprised if it's that fight, but we see in September and not May. And sometimes, look, we don't always need too much of a good thing too quickly. We've been patient in the past, so why not be patient now? That's my only thing. Ray, he's back.
Look how crazy. was on a roll, and then look at that. I was on a roll, and then Canelo's people got me cut off. That's crazy. Listen, I heard you just say about being patient. Yeah, stop doing this. Being patient would have been how long I've been waiting on this fight? Nearly 2 years now. Canelo has literally. You want to talk about give Canelo a year to have these like side mission fights? Yeah, he's just beat Jaime Munguia. No one cared. He beat Charlo before that.
You guys did care about Charlo.
No. But if we're talking about worthy opponents, was Charlo the greatest worthy opponent at the time? No. And who did he face before that? Who did he face before that? John Ryder.
John Ryder gets a pass because that is the Mexican homecoming. That's an
No,
occasion.
that's what I'm saying. That's 3 fights against non-top contenders, and then you want to give him a 4th fight against a non-top contender. This is Tyson Fury settings.
Hear my point. Because of the transition to BBC, just hear me out.
This is. I hope the fans are watching this cap because this is crazy.
The ease of making them fights is significant to honor Canelo's contracts, as in fighting in May and September, the dates that Amazon Prime, PBC, they would lock in for him. It's so much more easier than making Benavidez and be like, yo, we're going to lock this in. I know I will sit here on this day.
So it takes 2 more fights prior to make the Benavidez fight. It takes 2 more fights prior to make the Benavidez fight. Is that what you're saying? They remember this year. Remember this. Benavidez.
People rated Charlo before
Yes. No, I'm not discrediting that. But what I'm saying is this year, Charlo still wasn't a super middleweight. This guy was coming up 2 weight classes. And yes, I rated Charlo. But what I'm saying is a bona fide contender at super middleweight in 3 fights now, you haven't fought the bona fide best contender. Because Jaime Munguia came up and he beat past his best John Ryder, and then he got a shot over Benavidez, who beat Andrade and Caleb Plant. Crazy. That is, and the fact that we're excusing it, yeah. If it was 1 fight, then I hear it. But Charlo, Ryder, Munguia, and even before that, Triple G. That's 4 fights. 4 against people that shouldn't have like how is this being excused?
You know, this is the problem. You know, when you have longevity, hear me out. When you have a certain level of longevity, people just constantly want to throw out the fact you're missing this. The only reason we're talking about Benavidez is because Canelo Alvarez has insane longevity in boxing.
No.
If he retired as a normal boxer after 38 fights, 40 fights, even 50 fights, there'd be no conversation about Benavidez.
Do you know why that's not true?
Oh.
Because 2 fights before, when Benavidez was asking for the shot, what did people say at the time? Benavidez, you do not deserve this because you're the one that lost your belts at the weighing scales and through doing recreational drugs. And to which Benavidez was fairly punished and scolded for that. Then they said, fight a couple contenders before you get the fight. He fought former champion Caleb Plant. Then people were just like, do you know what? Fair enough, but he still needs to do more. He went and done more. He went and faced Andrade. So then now it's just like, what more can you want someone to do if you keep on saying these are the other top contenders in your division? Oh, Trey, you might have to mute there.
Oh, go on, carry on.
Yeah. What more can you do now if you have to carry on fighting all these other top contenders in the division with no progress to the main guy with the belt, and then you become the interim WBC champion? What more do you want? And then furthermore, even if you didn't want Benavidez, then you skip David Morrell, who's been beating up everyone else as well. So it's like, brother, David Morrell is more deserving than Munguia. Benavidez is more deserving than Munguia. So then I'm not trying to hear about fair enough, you might want to give him one more easier fight in between. But the fact that this is now his fourth guy against a non-top 4 contender, and we're entertaining this, is crazy. From Triple G fight was fair enough, and I'm happy Triple G got his money. Then John Ryder, Homecoming, wasn't the biggest opponent, but fair enough. Then the younger Charlo brother, who's coming from 2 weight classes down, but
That a lot
he
of
was
people said
marketable.
could be
But he was marketable. That's why I'm conceding that he was marketable. So fair enough. Now you're facing Jaime Munguia, who also recently moved to the weight class and hasn't really done anything at the weight class other than beating a past his prime John Ryder. But then those are the opponents that's more deserving than Benavidez and Morel.
I'm gonna let Trey speak. All I'm gonna say is Floyd Mayweather never fought Amir Khan, and talk to me. So
no. That's what, and guess what? Do you want to know the difference, though? Do you want to know the difference? Floyd did not hold all of the belts at that division. So if Amir Khan wanted, so if Amir Khan wanted to become world champion in that weight class, he still could become world champion in that weight class because there's other belts. The difference is Canelo. My thing is this: Canelo, if you want to move like you're moving right now, I've got no problem with that because you're in the twilight of your career and I respect it. Let go of Undisputed then. You can't be Undisputed and pick and choosing. That's my only issue.
Your issue isn't actually that he's not fighting Benavidez. It's the fact that he's got all the belts, which is fine.
Yes, that's my thing. Let go of some of the belts if you want to do that. That's all I'm saying.
Trey, before we actually do wrap up, I want to get your views on this as well.
Yeah, no, of course. Obviously, I just wanted just to come on, wish Ray just happy birthday personally, and just obviously big
much
up
love,
to
man.
who's also tuning into the show and supporting. Obviously, we do this for the community, and the fact that you guys last minute did this aftermath show, just had to give you boys your flowers. And obviously, when the Canelo discussion came on, me, El Presidente. That's my guy. But look, I obviously understand what Ray is talking about in terms of the frustrations, in terms of him not fighting Benavidez. Look, I'm also a Benavidez fan as well. I want to see Benavidez versus Canelo, but unfortunately, I agree with Abbas. You can't really put the blame too much on Canelo. You have to put the blame on Mauricio Suleiman for not enforcing the power to be like, look, Canelo, if you don't defend your title against then we're gonna strip you of the title. But unfortunately, the reason why I call him El Presidente is because he gets to do what he likes, and rightfully so, because he was in that position when he fought Mayweather. He was Munguia. I know it was different, but still, like, he still had to play that role. Mayweather obviously retired. Now he obviously took the mantle.
I disagree.
Yeah.
If it was a case here of the fact if they just won the fight with Canelo, which some people do for the big payday, understandable, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're just chasing Canelo, and he's saying no. I understand that. For me, that's fair enough. But it's the fact that you've got all the belts. My thing has always been relinquish all the WBA, WBO, IBF, relinquish them and only keep the WBC and ring for the lineal championship. That's when I'm like, do you know what? Canelo, do what your heart contends. But then when people like I said, Morel gets screwed over where he's been having to fight as WBA regular champion because he can't get a shot at the super champion status, that is when I'm just like, he's getting ridiculous now. My issue isn't the fact that you're picking and choosing your fight, because at this point of his career, he's earned that. My issue is you cannot hold up a whole division when you have all the belts. That's like, in a way, you see right now, who we speaking about before. In a way, is fighting the top contender after top contender after top contender. And if in a way then said he wanted a gimme fight after, fair enough, he earned it. But if he gets to now the second and third fight and you're not facing top contender, let go of some of the belts. Do what Mayweather done.
You know what it is?
Let go of some of the belts.
I completely agree with you, and obviously those points that you mentioned, this is obviously one of the reasons why, look, I enjoy our conversations, our battles, of course, because you obviously put across good facts. But the Munguia situation, for example, unfortunately, that case, Munguia was the mandatory, wasn't he? Not the WBC interim. So he, in a
No,
sense,
it's Benavidez's.
but I understand that Munguia in that case was the interim champion at the time, man. That's what I'm talking about, my brother, man. So in a sense,
It's nasty business.
it's nasty, man.
The
But
nastiest.
it's so nasty. I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. Look, I will support El Presidente always. It's nasty, man. But technically speaking, we can't really
That's all
get
I asked for,
mad.
honesty in that.
We can't really say too much, man, because he's in a sense he's defended against another Mexican who's the interim at the time, so he's honored that WBC part, and I believe the Berlanga fight, I believe he's gonna honor the other side of the mandatory fight in Berlanga. But for me, I'm just gonna also put out there, because it's your show, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
All good, all
I
good.
reckon after what we saw, the little confrontation between both of them is building up nicely. Abbas, we obviously watched WWE and Inoue. It's looking like a Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns situation where it's going to drag out. Cinco de Mayo 2025. Benavidez.
2025.
Yes.
You gotta realize the date seems further away, but the reality is one more fight. Potentially two. I want that. Potentially two.
You know, we literally we're like a day into Cinco de Mayo, and you're talking about something potentially over a year away.
Yeah, because it's 2 fights a year. When you're fighting at elite level, they fight 2 fights a year, man. That's the way I'm seeing it. So if he fights Berlanga next,
it doesn't work.
I remember the only reason he's facing Berlanga is because David Morrell didn't want to wait any longer and chose to vacate. Because for me personally, I don't think he faces David Morrell if David Morrell stayed in the division.
That would be a good fight, though.
I actually think I don't know why.
I think David Morrell's style. Remember, I'm saying Canelo is in the twilight of his career, and if you think he doesn't know that, you're being naive.
Yeah,
that was too risky a fight to take against David Morrell. So the fact that you've used politics to freeze Morrell out of the division is why I'm saying let go of the Undisputed. Let other men become champion.
You can't, man.
You have to. You can't. No. My thing is this: if you're not gonna let go of, the other belts, then you can't pick and choose who your opponents are. You have to face your mandatories.
I just want to put a quick point from them. I hear why Benavidez has moved up, but I do agree. He moved up because of the opportunities that lacking at 168. So this is my point for 2025. We are either going to see Benavidez over at 175, Canelo already got at 168, or we may well see Canelo move to 175. Now, if he moves to 175, the fight happens in September for me. Or if he stays at 168, we can look at May. But that's my final point on this before we wrap up. I want to get you guys' thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, you might as well take the lead, Ray, man.
Listen, man, people, we'll wrap this up. But first and foremost, obviously, I'm thankful for another year, and thank you very much, everyone, for the birthday blessings. I want to thank Abbas for the last minute call up to do this. It was been a brilliant show. We was only meant to speak about Inoue, and look where we've taken it. Trey, I want to thank you once again for coming on. One, wish me well my birthday, and two, adding to our. You lot think it's heated now. You should see our group chat. Me and Trey will go at it.
If there was a snapshot to see how our group chat is, oh my days, the entertainment, the gifts, the videos. Now, big up the family.
We'll bring the energy to screen soon. Jams, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Much love, and to the iBoxingHub community, much love. Keep growing with the channel. Share, subscribe. Obviously, Trey recorded yesterday with BN, so tune into that as well. Obviously, lock in throughout the whole week. We're going to be slapping you guys with more content, so tune in, man.
Yeah, man. I think we're going to call that a wrap. Producer, it was with the outro.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever hit up. I start my card with a sweet one, please.